So hello and good morning children. I again welcome you to your online classes, and today I have come up with a new topic, that is subject verb agreement. Now what is subject verb agreement? As you see the topic itself, see the name of the topic itself, you can automatically understand what is subject verb and agreement between them. So it is actually the relationship between the subject verb. Okay, so it is only the relationship between the subject and verb. The subject and verb, they have a certain agreement, okay, that what is going to come what. So in this, the verb has to agree with the subject. Okay, it has to agree. If it is in the first person, second person, third person, that means it has to agree with the person, and even in number, singular and plural. So it has to agree. Let us try to understand with these few examples here. Okay. I think with this you will be able to understand what is subject verb agreement. Now you will find many sentences. There are many sentences which will come across. So we have taken these 5 from your book. So the first one, I am a student. You are a chess player. Manish is a chef. Ashok works as a bus conductor. Manish and Maria work in the same hotel. Now let us underline or circle the verbs here first. So these are the verbs. I am. So these are be form of the verb, isn't it? Are, be form of the verb. Is. Ashok works. Manish and Maria work. So these are all your verbs. Now let us see. I is what person? This is first person. I. The one who is speaking is always a first person. To whom he is speaking, that is the second person. And when these two, first person and second person, when they are talking about the third person, okay, the third, someone else, that is called the third person. So I is the first person. Now am a student. Now here this is the be form of the verb, am. And in the present tense with I, always am comes, isn't it? So I am a student. This is present tense. Now you are a chess player. Now why are is coming here? You is what? Is the second person. So it agrees with the second person. That is why are is going to come. First person and then second person. So it is going to agree with are is going to agree. So you are a chess player. Second person. Now Manish is a chef. Manish is a third person. Okay. So we both are talking about Manish. So Manish is a chef. So here even this is be form. Is. Ashok works as a bus conductor. Now see these are the changes. Manish is. Ashok works. S is coming there. Manish and Maria work. No S is there. So this is, when no S is there, that means this is plural. Okay, this verb is in the plural. And here this verb is in the singular. So because it is singular, Ashok is singular, one person, that is why works is coming as a bus conductor. Now here Manish is, because Manish is singular, so is. So it has to modify accordingly. They have to change accordingly, according to the person. They have to match according to the person. So this is the subject verb agreement. So the verbs keep on changing just because of the person or the number. Okay, person means first person, second person, and here in the number also. Manish is singular, so is. Ashok is again singular, so S is coming. Both are Manish and Maria. There are two persons, so they become plural. So plural verb is coming. So this is subject verb agreement. So now there are many rules related to subject verb agreements. So one by one we will try to understand those rules also. Now children, in addition to the general rules which I have just now discussed with you, we have some more rules in addition to your subject verb agreement. Now as I told you earlier, that the verb has to agree with the subject in number also. Number, that is singular and plural. We have two numbers, singular and plural. So the verb has to agree to the subject in the number. if the subject is in a singular number, obviously the verb has to be in singular, and if the subject is in plural, the verb also has to be in plural only. So this is the general rule. This is the rule. So let us discuss singular first. That when singular verb has to come. Now, a singular verb is used with pronouns and quantifiers. What are pronouns? Pronouns are the words which are used in place of nouns. So they are pronouns. Like for example, he, she, it, they. All these are pronouns. Okay. So sometimes a singular verb is used with pronouns also and with quantifiers also. What are quantifiers? When you count something. When you are able to count. Okay. That is. So quantifiers here. Verbs in the plural are used with pronouns and quantifiers. The same thing happens with plural verbs also. Both in singular and plural. Both it happens. With pronouns and quantifiers. So even plurals are used with pronouns and quantifiers, whereas even singular verbs are used with pronouns and quantifiers. But then what type of pronouns and what type of quantifiers, that you need to differentiate between both. Now see here, let us come to singular one. Singular, that means there are many pronouns which are singular also, and there are many pronouns which are plural also. And there are many quantifiers, means where you can count, and something which you cannot count but still there are included in quantifiers. Like little. Now we don't know little, so it is like uncountable. Even much is uncountable. So, but they all come in quantifiers. So they are uncountable, but they are quantifiers. Here, a few, both, many, several, all these are quantifiers. But both, like two, many, so there are some numbers. Okay, several, again it can be counted. Few, a few. So these type of quantifiers and little and much, these two quantifiers, you have to differentiate between them. So a singular verb is used with pronoun and quantifiers, and which quantifiers? Only little and much, only these two quantifiers. Okay, so let us see the example. If I use pronoun like she has done her homework, isn't it? Now this is one example. Now what is the verb here? This, has. So has we use for singular. So she has, isn't it? So there are pronouns which take singular verb. Singular verb. Why? Because the subject is in singular. That is one subject. Now let us say like I have a pencil. So why I am using have? Because I. We always use I, plural with I. Okay, so I have. We cannot say I has. Okay, and then it is first person. Now come to the quantifier, that is little and much. Take one example for little. Like very little has been done for the poor. Okay, so very little has. Little has been done for the poor, or very little has been done for the poor. So has. Okay, we can also write like much was given to her. Much was is singular. Okay, has. Again, we use for singular. So only with these two quantifiers, singular verb comes. Okay, and with singular subject, singular verb comes. So this has. They are all verbs. So I hope you understood this. Now come to the next one. A singular verb is used with the sentences when they start with either, neither, each, every, everyone. So with these words when they start, the verb will come in the singular. So let us do one example. For example, each child has given anything you can complete. So has, each child, take it every child. Okay, so again every child was given a lunch box. So was. Okay, now neither of, let's do NER, neither of the child was present. Okay, so neither, either of the child has given anything. So has. So this one has. Then everyone. Let's start with everyone. So everyone has finished the work and all. So has finished. Everyone. So with all these words, so whenever a sentence start with these words. So each, either, neither, every, everyone. So the verb will come in the singular form. See, these are the singular form verbs. I've circled them. Now come to the plural verbs. Now plural verbs, again same thing. We've done here also in the singular and in the plural also it is the same thing. But the quantifiers and even the pronouns like they. So they is a pronoun, but it is not for a singular person. They stand for so many children. Like they are playing in the ground. So children are playing in the ground. Okay. So pronouns. So with these, like, so let us say an example like they are working hard. So are. Okay. For quantifiers also, a few, both, many, several. So with these type of quantifiers, plural verb is being used. For example, like both children were writing anything. So were writing. So with both, see, children comes, doesn't child. Both child you cannot write. Both children. So automatically the verb is there in the plural. Now several people have done whatever. So have. So the verbs, they come in plural with these type of quantifiers, and you can see the pronouns also. Now let us come to the next one, that is if two nouns joined with and, like Ram and Sham. So Ram plus Sham. Now there are two, isn't it? Let us write this example. Ram and Sham are friends. Okay. So this is one subject and this is two subjects. So they become plural. So obviously the verb will come in the plural. Isn't it? So this is a rule. So when two subjects join with and when they are acting as a subject, these are subject. Ram one, this is one subject, this is second subject. So when both the subjects they are joined with and, obviously they become plural. So the verb will come in the plural. This is your rule related to the person, the number, singular and plural. So there are two numbers, singular and plural. I hope you must have understood this. Let's do the other. Now let's look at all the rules together. So you have in total 9 rules are there which you have to understand. So the first one which we have already discussed, like the subject and the verb must agree in number, which you have already seen. So if the subject is in singular, the verb has to be in singular. If the subject is in plural, the verb has to be in plural. Now, the words between the subject and the verb have no influence on the agreement. Okay, that means the words which come in between the subject and the verb, they don't change. They always remain the same. Okay, so and they have nothing to do with the subject verb agreement. So let us see with the example. The blue pens. See the example. The blue pens. Now this is plural and this is subject, isn't it? In that bundle don't work. What is the verb here? This is the verb. Don't, do not verb. It is a negative sentence, so do is your verb. Now in present tense we use do and does. Now because this is plural, the blue pens, do is coming. And if it would have been singular, it would have been does here. Okay. So because it is plural, do is coming here. So with plural we use do and with singulars we use does. In present tense only. So the blue pens in that bundle. So this has nothing to do with subject verb agreement. This remains like this. Suppose if I use here the blue pen singular in that bundle does not work. So this is changing and this is changing, whereas this is not changing, isn't it? So it means that the words between the subject and the verb have no influence on the agreement or subject verb agreement. They have nothing to do with subject verb agreement. Now if it is plural, the blue pens in that bundle do not work. Okay, this remains same. If I am using it singular, suppose if I cut this, then what will happen? The blue pen in that bundle, I will be writing does not work. So this will not change, only these two will change. Now come to the next topic, the rule, that is when the sentence begins with the dummy subject. Now what are dummy subject? What do you mean by dummy? Means there is a subject. It is understood as a subject, but subject is not there. Okay? Dummy subject, here and there. These two words like here and there. The verb agrees with the actual subject which follows it. Let us see with an example. Okay? For example, I'll write one example here. Okay? Like here is a book. Isn't it? This is your verb. This is your dummy subject. So this verb is agreeing with this subject. Okay? It is agreeing. A book. This is singular. So that is why it is agreeing with this. Or you can say that this is agreeing with this. So both are complementing each other. Okay? So here is, this is your dummy. This is not your subject, but it is a dummy subject. Okay? Thought to be as subject, but it is not a subject. It is a dummy subject. And here this verb is agreeing with the subject which is following this verb. Now let us take another, like there, are the books. Or even I can write here are the books. So here and there, they are there, and are here, both. These are agreeing to this subject, agreeing to this subject, the subject which is following it, coming after it. Okay? So that means it is not compulsory. The subject may not be placed before or after the verb. This is not compulsory, that the subject has to come first and then verb will come. No, it is not at all compulsory. It can also come after it in the other verb. Whereas here it is agreeing with the subject which is following it. And here this is a dummy subject. Okay? Expect it to be as subject, but it is a dummy subject. So the verb is agreeing with the subject which is following it or which is coming after it. Now there is also one rule, that the subject may not be placed before or after, may be placed before or after. Okay, it is not compulsory that the subject has to come in the beginning, isn't it? No, it's not compulsory. It can even come afterward. For example, if I write one example, would you like a cup like a cup of tea, asking someone, offering someone. So like is your verb here, and this is the subject, isn't it? So subject is coming after it. Sometimes and every time you find that it is here, first subject and then comes the verb. But it is not compulsory that every time it happens. No, it can be placed on both the sides. It can come in the beginning also, it can come in the end also. So here you can see it. I hope you must have understood these four. Now let's do another. Now let's take a look at the rule number 5 and 6. Okay. Now the fifth one. If the subject has two singular nouns or pronouns, both joined by the conjunction and. You can see the example here. The verb is always in the plural. Why? Because it becomes plural. Bittu and mittu. There are two subjects and they are joined with the word and. That means when they both join together, mittu and mittu, when both are standing at one place, obviously they become two in number, so that is plural. So obviously the verb will be in plural only. For example, mittu, pittu and mittu. This is one subject and this is second subject, and they are joined with and here. So the verb is in the plural. This is your verb and this is in plural. Goes in singular. Go in plural. When you add es to it, it becomes singular. When there is no es, now it is plural verb. Okay? So bittu and mittu go to school together. So when two subjects, or they can be pronoun also, or two nouns, when they are joined with one conjunction, that is and, when they are joined with and, the verb goes in the plural. Okay. Now come to the sixth one. When the subject is preceded by words such as each, no, or every, the verb is singular. The verb always agrees in singular. For example, here, see, these are the subjects. Student, one means only one person, every, question. These are the subjects. And these words are preceded by some other word, that is each, no, every. So that means whenever a sentence starts with each, no, every, obviously the verb every is in singular. See here. Needs, this is singular. Gets, this is singular. Goes, this is singular. These are your verbs. These are verbs. And these are all singular verbs. Okay? So these are all singular verbs. And these are your subjects. This one, subjects. And these subjects are preceded. Preceded means before. So preceded. They are each, no, and every. So when the subjects are preceded by these words, each, no, or every, the verb is always in the singular. You can see the verbs are always in the singular. So this is another rule which you have to keep in mind. So whenever a sentence starts with each student gets, each child has, okay, no one goes out, no one has done such a crime. So then every question needs to be answered. Every question has a question tag, whatever it is. So the verb is always in the singular. Now let's have a look at the rule number 7. When plural nouns or pronouns act as the subject. When plural nouns or pronouns. So plural nouns are here. Isn't it? My child. This is singular. This is plural nouns. Your child. Isn't it? Students. All the students. They are plural nouns, or you can say pronouns. So when plural nouns or pronouns act as a subject and are connected by words such as or, nor, neither nor, either or. The verb agrees with the subject near to it. Like whenever, see now, like neither my child nor I. So, neither my child nor I. This is another subject. So, both these subjects, isn't it? Either your friends or Samir. These both are subjects. All the students or the representative of the class. This is one subject. This is one subject. Okay. And this is another subject. Even this is subject. Now these both are subject. I am writing S for the subject. Okay. Now the sentence is connected by neither nor. See, it is connected by these neither nor. It is connected. Either or. Even these, they are connected, isn't it? So, and these subjects. My child, neither my child nor I. So, what are the verbs here? I'll just mark the verbs here. The verbs are these. These are the verbs. Verbs. Is. These are the verbs here which are marked with red. Now, the verb is agreeing with the subject which is near to it. It is agreeing with this subject. This is agreeing with this subject. And this is agreeing with this subject. Isn't it? Why? Because it is just near to it. So, you can again understand the rule. When plural nouns or pronouns act as the subject and are connected by words such as or, this one is with or, nor, neither nor, neither nor, either or, the verb agrees with the subject near to it. So the verb, here this verb, it agrees with the subject near to it. Now in present tense with I, we only use am. Okay? We only use am with I in present tense. So I am. So neither my child nor I am able to join you. Either your friends, this is plural, but this is singular. So this verb is agreeing with the singular subject only. Why? Because this is near to it. So either your friends or Samir gets. We don't write get, we've written gets. And this is singular verb. Here. All the students, this is plural subject, but the representative of the class is only singular. So here singular verb is coming. It is agreeing with this subject, the subject which is near to it. So this is your 7th rule. I hope you must have understood with this example. Now let us look at the rule number 8 and 9. So in rule number 8, if an indefinite pronoun. Now what is indefinite pronoun? Everybody, anybody. Like we are not definite of any person here. That is why we call it indefinite. Everybody, it can be anyone. Anybody, it can be again any person around. So if an indefinite pronoun such as everybody, anybody is used as the subject. So when any indefinite pronoun is there as a subject or a sentence starts with any indefinite pronoun, the subject of a sentence, the verb is usually singular. The verb goes in the singular. The verb agrees in the singular. So here, everybody knows. So what is the indefinite pronoun? These are the indefinite pronouns. Okay. And what are the verbs here? Knows, is, and both are singular. When s is added to knows, it means that means it becomes knows and it is in the singular. If I remove this, now it becomes plural. But because it is indefinite pronoun, the sentence is starting with indefinite pronoun, or when indefinite pronoun is there in the beginning as acting as a subject, the verb agrees or comes in the singular or agrees with the singular. Here, anybody is entitled to justice. Here, the verb is in the singular, is. we use for singular. Knows, we use for singular. So both are singular. And here, these are the indefinite pronoun. Means which is not definite, which is not particular. We don't know who the person is. It can be anyone, everyone. Okay. Now come here to the next. That is the last rule, which is the ninth rule. Now the pronouns such as few, many, several, all, both, etc. There can be many others also. As a subject, when they are the subject, or the sentence when beginning with these words, few, many, several, both, all, the verb comes in the plural. Why it comes in the plural? Because actually these words, they stand for plural only. They mean plural. Both, that means two. All, that means so many. Many, obviously many. Several, again many. So these words, they stand for few. Not one, but there are again many. So these words itself, they are subject of plural. That is why even the verb will be in plural. The verb will be in the plural. So let us see the examples here. Now see, it is starting with these words. No? Many, all, some, few. Now what are the verbs here? Many of my friends tell. It is not tells me, it is tell. So this is in plural. All are. All are invited. Some are. Few of them have. So these are all verbs and they are all plural verbs. They are all plural. I hope you all must have understood. So thank you for now.